You got the Rams and the Ravens in one uh, field goal shootout, I suppose. Let me ask you something. What the hell happened to the Rams this year?
It's the same thing that happens to them every year. I mean, seriously though, like it's like a mysterious force just takes over the Rams, and they don't they don't play well.
I don't know. I mean, is it because Nick Foles isn't in there anymore? Is it because uh, even Todd Gurley's not producing the numbers that he was? And we're thinking he might be rookie of the year. We're thinking he might be overall best running back this season. Back
So
in
that was
week
actually
eight.
one thing I was going to mention. Rookie of the year status, and uh, he has gone a little bit downhill, but I'm not really sure who the other candidates would be that would make quite as strong of an argument, because you had like Amari Cooper, who we can talk more about in the Raiders video, but
Yeah.
he hasn't had quite as high of production either. And I'm not really sure if there's anyone that could take that crown from from Todd Gurley, but maybe Winston with that performance he had this Sunday, which we'll also talk about.
Yeah.
If he keeps that up, which I mean he won't, because no one fucking does. But even if he keeps staying, just semi-productive, half of what he did would be pretty damn good. But Todd Gurley, I think, still probably the favorite for Rookie of the Year at
Yeah.
this point.
It's so
I mean,
far, I would
honestly,
say.
yeah,
Because I agree with you. I think the only other candidate that would take it away from him is Amari Cooper. And
right.
I think what Amari Cooper has for him is he wasn't out the first, 6 weeks, 4 weeks of the season. He hasn't been hurt. And he's been overall pretty consistent. Like he's had obviously bigger games than other games and everything. And what's been helping the Raiders is that if Amari Cooper can't perform, they still have Michael Crabtree on the other side. And even despite that, they're not always winning games. Which again, that's Raiders video. Just watch that one if you want more info. Uh, but overall, man, the Rams I think it was just 2 weeks ago or maybe 3 weeks ago. I'm like, holy shit! Arizona better watch out because the Rams are coming in here going strong, and then they just died out. And I can't imagine just because Nick Foles goes down that the
It's
entire
bigger than
team,
that.
yeah, is gonna go down too. I don't know. Like it just seems like some games are super prepared, and some games they're just not prepared at all.
Well, they're trying to play a little bit of smash mouth football, run first, defense heavy, and I think they need to stiffen up maybe the offensive line a little bit, or get some better blockers, open up holes, even if it's a fullback or a, a blocking tight end, just something.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to play hard nosed smash mouth football, and they just don't quite have the tools to do it. Is my honest opinion. They have the running back. They just need a little bit of support for him, and then the quarterback situation I think is good enough.
Yeah,
As long as Foles is healthy, he's a pretty decent quarterback, and I mean, really, if they get that going good enough, Case Keenum would be fine too. He'll at
yeah.
least be a contender. So
Well, I mean, I've always liked Foles. I liked him back on the Eagles. I liked him over here on the Rams. I think he is like. I'm not saying maybe by any means he's a top 10 quarterback in the league, but I think he's good enough to get the job done. Which is, if you're relying on a heavy, good defense, it's all you really need to ask for from your quarterback anyway. And
right,
especially when you got a stud like Todd Gurley, you don't need a top 10 quarterback. You just need a reliable one that's not going to turn the ball over.
right, and I'm pretty. I don't quote me on this, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm pretty sure Foles has a pretty low turnover rate compared to most quarterbacks. I
Yeah,
know in particular a couple years ago it was amazing how long he went without an interception.
yeah.
So which he has turned the ball over more since then, but he's still just don't turn the ball over like you said. That's probably enough.
Now, I think the biggest thing that we can discuss over on Baltimore's side is, this came down right to the wire. Uh,
Right,
they actually missed their original field goal,
right.
to try to win it, and then end up making like what I think it was a 52-yard field goal, which is even longer to end up winning the game. But I mean, right before that, you have Justin Forsett with a broken arm, out for the rest of the season. And then right at the last drive, you get Joe Flacco with a torn ACL, which is kind of amazing. He still finished that drive,
Yeah, he did.
you know? And, he had, it's really bizarre with ACL injuries, because the same thing happened with Jordy Nelson. Is when Jordy twisted his knee wrong and he tore his ACL. He limped off the field. The same with Joe Flacco. He was kind of hobbling and like limping and like didn't want to put a lot of pressure on like that one leg, but he was both of them did almost the exact same thing. They go on the sidelines and they're kind of jogging in place and they're kind of stretching out and like that's why I think a lot of Baltimore fans had the same thing we had in Green Bay, where it's just like, oh well, it's not that serious. All right, so maybe whatever, and then all of a sudden a week later comes out torn ACL out for season. It's weird how some ACL injuries they have to get carted off, and then some like they go off and they're doing little sprints and they seem fine, but you still can't play.
I think that him finishing that drive is just a testament to how tough he is.
Yeah,
I know I shit on Flacco earlier in the season, but when it comes to like being tough, he proved that he is at least that. He's definitely a football player. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah. I think he's definitely a true quarterback to where he wants to finish games and he's going to be upset if he can't be in there, like most of them will be. Um, I still don't think he's a great quarterback, unfortunately.
What a costly win and an ultimately pointless win for the Ravens.
True, that's very true. It's not like they're going to make the playoffs. You
Uh,
won the game, which I guess congratulations. But you okay? Your running back's out, your quarterback's out. I mean, I don't know how many
time,
more wins
time
they
to
were really going
score the
for.
first round draft pick. That's what I think. I mean, it's. I mean, you go out there and you play, but you got to think Baltimore is getting the first round draft pick at this point.
Or close to it, top
I,
five at least.
I just don't really see them being able to win maybe any more games without Flacco and Forsett.
Yeah,
I mean, we'll see how Forsett does with the broken arm if he ends up coming back with the cast or not.
yeah,
But regardless, it's pretty much that was the end of their season. I mean, it was already pretty much over, but that was really the end of the season.
yeah. I
As
mean,
far as the rest is a formality.
it's got to be tough to be a Baltimore fan right now, and I'm sorry, Baltimore fans out there, but I mean, you lived it. You saw what happened. I mean,
And they just won the Super Bowl a few years ago. I don't feel that bad for them.
I suppose.
So,
But well, I think that's even more so. Like you, if it were me, and I'm like, we just got a Super Bowl ring, and this is what our team turned into this short amount of time. Like that would almost piss me off more. Like usually it's like a gradual state to get into that.
that's true, but there they are.
Yeah,
So I
man.
guess that's about it, huh?
Yeah, that's definitely I think about everything. And again, I almost just it's gotta be tough. Sorry,
Go
Baltimore.
Colts.
It's gotta be tough, but you can always gotta rely on those draft picks for next year. I guess it's all I can look forward to.
Next year,
Yeah,
right? Can't get a hell of a lot worse.
it really can't be unless I didn't. Well, you know what we didn't discuss um, with this terrible season. John Harbaugh, is he going to be there next year?
Oh, that's a good point. No one really seems to be talking a whole lot
No.
about him being on the hot seat. And I don't. I guess he's not. I mean, you get a Super Bowl winning coach like that. I think you're allowed to have a shitty season. And
Yeah.
you just won the Super Bowl a few years ago. I'd give him one more shot at least,
Yeah.
personally. Let him get let him get a good draft pick and see what he can do with it. That's
Right.
how I see it.
Right.
So
Yeah.
there you go.
Well, anybody else has any other opinions about John Harbaugh or see how the Ravens are going, or it actually if anybody wants to explain to us what the hell's going on with the Rams too, that'd be appreciated. You can leave us a comment here. You can leave us a comment on Facebook and Twitter. Our links are in the description below. Uh, tell us what's what. Yeah, thumbs up, man.
That's how we know nothing.